another day of college football's in the books. What is that, week 8 now?
Yeah, something like that. It's mid-season.
By like a blink of an eye, like I said before, man. Before we get started, y'all don't mind, jump out and hit that like button, smash that like button. It hits the algorithm for us. It pushes us out to more people. And that way we can get more people up here in this party tonight. Woo, man. Had a lot of scares today for a lot of people. Even Oklahoma had a little scare. I tried to tell them, man, coming off an emotional win like that, man, it's sometimes hard to get back down, even with a week off. And, Texas had their troubles today as well.
Today was I don't even know how to explain it. And it's currently going on right now, man. Like, you're looking, Florida State and Duke are tied right now at 17, about to go into halftime. So much going on.
I really hope Duke wins that game. That'll help us out a lot in our quiz. We was going over it earlier, about all the undefeated teams that are still left. Everybody gets in a tizzy about that every year, but it always works itself out, it seems like.
And Utah, USC is tied right now, and they're about to be at halftime in a little bit, 14 apiece. Oh, man.
Yeah, I did have to talk Killer Breeze off the ledge earlier today, but
oh, God.
Then I was on the ledge. I was pissed, man. I was fucking in an irate mood today. About halftime, it was 20-7, and it felt like it was almost down by 42 points or something, man, because Tennessee had those 2 turnovers that they only turned into 6 points.
Yeah.
They could have easily been up on us like 28-7 or something at halftime.
That game could have went any way, in any direction, at any time.
Well, yeah, because, Josh Heupel went for it on his 34-yard line. And
exactly.
We screwed the pooch on that. We would have probably been leading at halftime.
Yep.
We're changing the whole complexion of the game. We might not have actually won the game if we've been leading at halftime. Because we're second-half team, man. They said that Nick Saban's been down. I saw a graph that said he's been down 4 times this year at halftime, which is the most for him in a season.
Yeah.
He'll be trailing at halftime 4 times. Now, I guess now 5, right?
There'll be 5 now. So, with that being said, let's jump into these games, right? So, do you want to start off with Alabama or Oklahoma?
Let's start with Oklahoma.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you start off with this one then.
I mean, I was talking about this last week. I was trying to tell people, hey, this game could probably be close for 3.5 quarters. Little did I know it's going to be close the whole damn game. And that's just the way college football is. And people get mad at Dylan Gabriel and Jeff Lebby and stuff, but it's just college football, man. They're very young men, and people were telling me all week how, there's no way because, Brent Venables has told them and preached to them that they can't look ahead. They got to stay focused, blah, 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 blah. It don't matter who you are, man. You can be the best coach of all time. You can be Nick Saban or Bear Bryant and tell these kids to be focused every week, and it's just not going to happen.
Yep. No, absolutely not. So I'm going to give my take on this pretty quick. First of all, it had nothing to do with Dylan Gabriel and Jeff Lebby. Yeah, let me pull up his stats real quick. Dylan Gabriel had 253 yards, 25 and 38, 3 touchdowns and 1 interception, with a 6.7 average, right? So he's not dinking and dunking the whole game. Even running the ball, 4.1 yards per carry, right? Major had 82 yards. Obviously, Gavin had the touchdown. But when I look over at the UCF side, if I'm going to point to anything as a stats guy, obviously I'm going to point at the defense. Because you did allow Plumlee to have 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, QBR 67, kind of mediocre numbers. But you did allow a 100-yard rusher, right? 4.4 yards per carry, and you allowed over a 100-yard receiver. So UCF did nothing but execute the normal things at an average rate to keep themselves in this game. So UCF's game plan essentially at this point was don't lose the game per se by turnovers, right? Just keep yourself in the game. In my opinion, that's all they did, knowing what type of game Oklahoma's going to play. So, I mean, Oklahoma tends to take advantage of people when they turn the ball over. So, and they just didn't play into that. So, but I think it's a pretty fair take. Oklahoma, every team's going to have that week where they struggle. And like you said, the emotional win, when you come off a win like that, like you said, even on a bye week, you're still hyped up with emotion.
Well, they're
to any
young,
degree.
and they're going to hear the press clippings. They're going to see everybody saying the same thing that was being said about Texas, by the way, after they beat Alabama.
Yeah.
They're going to see the same shit out there saying, oh, Oklahoma, they're back. Oklahoma's about to win a national championship. But it just don't work like that in football, man. You can't just win one big game and expect that you're going to make the playoffs. Players in the NFL know that from week to week. I mean, you can't take anybody for granted in the NFL. And when this thing starts microcosming down more, you're probably going to see teams with 2 and 3 losses get in the playoffs eventually when they go to 12 teams. They'll probably end up going to 16. I hope they don't, but they probably will.
Yeah. And Lori's on here says Levy ain't no good. He's not a good play caller. I don't know what games you guys have been watching, but Levy's been – I mean, you have one of the best and most efficient offenses in the country right now. Like, I don't know, like, what you would expect. For you to put – I mean, okay, we got Killer Breeze in here. Would you put this on Jeff Levy, this game?
Killer Breeze might be
it wasn't the best game I've seen him call. I didn't really understand. I don't know. Hold on a second.
Yeah. So we'll wait on his take real quick. Now, granted, that's what I'm saying is like you're not gonna have no one's gonna say you're gonna be perfect every game. I think Oklahoma fans are now starting to turn into what Alabama fans are. You expect a perfect game every time, the perfect play calls every time with no risk taken. That's not going to happen if you want to win a national championship. You're going to have dumb play calls.
The problem I have with Tommy Rees and Jeff Levy, they both seem to parallel each other somewhat in the way they do things.
They're risk takers.
Well, that was the problem is I didn't feel like they were being risky enough. But he finally, I think they went into halftime, and you said, just like you said, not only did they make some adjustments defensively, but they made some adjustments offensively as well. And Tommy Rees he's got to realize this one thing. He needs to pass more on first down and then run it on second or third down, catch him off guard a little bit. And like Gary Danielson said, and I hate to agree with Gary, but once they start realizing they can work Jalen Milroe into the running game a little bit more and let, that Reed play or whatever, like he should have held the ball at one time that he give the ball off to the running back. He would have had a first down if he'd kept it himself.
Now that's one thing I'll say is it's, in my opinion, it's easy for me to say this because I'm watching a TV screen, reading the defensive end collapse down or stay on his assignment. That's a split decision, and I don't know how much Jalen Milroe's even practiced that right before this year. I'm sure it would be a lot, you would assume, but I don't know. Because Tua was famous for that, obviously. Jalen Hurts was famous for that. Tua would do it off a slant, though. It's a quick release, whereas Jalen is not as quick twitch when it comes to his intermediate short throws because he tends to let the ball sail over with his freaking wide throw.
You was about to give us a take on the whole Jeff Levy situation there, Killer Breeze. What do you say? What say you?
It wasn't the best game that I've seen him call clearly.
Yeah.
What I don't understand is why – I don't understand why he didn't run Dylan Gabriel. Outlaw brought that up when we were watching the game. I don't really understand why he didn't run Gabriel, but I also don't understand why we've had 2 games now where the running game looks like they can't get anything done and then looks good for a little while. And I don't know why we can't run the ball. I just don't understand it. I mean, I get it. The offensive line is not playing, but the offensive line should be good enough to do better than what we're doing at a minimum. And that is just blowing my mind. I just don't understand that. So I also didn't understand why he didn't really take any deep shots, during the game either. At least not that I can remember. Maybe I was so frustrated I missed some. But he didn't really take any deep shots either. It was an odd game the way he called it. But
now, my bad. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead,
No.
man.
So Stink Ass Cat, I love that name, by the way, brings up a good point. The reason why I say he's probably not going to run Gabriel as much, you got to realize something. Gabriel has lost 2 quarterbacks to season-ending injuries. One of them resulted in a career-ending injury by running his quarterback. Do you think that has something to do with that?
But this year, Oklahoma actually has a good quarterback behind him. That's why I said we can run it, get away with it, because you actually got a package for what's his name again? Jackson Arnold.
They have a
package. There's a package for Jackson Arnold to come in and actually run the ball.
But he's not Dylan Gabriel yet.
Well, I'm just saying that if Dylan Gabriel was injured, actually be in much trouble. I don't think, because they were last year. They were in a lot of trouble last year. If Dylan Gabriel goes down last year, you see what happens.
Oh yeah, no, he's not Dylan Gabriel in the sense that he doesn't have the experience clearly.
Exactly, yeah.
But as a runner, I mean, he was a running back before he was a quarterback.
Yeah.
He was, he ran a lot. He ran the ball a lot in high school, so we expect him to run in college as well. But at the end of the day, I don't care who's running the ball. I really don't care who it is, but we got to run the ball. We have to be able to line up. We have to be able to push people, and we have to be able to run the ball when the other side knows we're about to run the ball. Like, we got to be able to do that. If we can't do that, then we're going to lose a game or two. I mean, which at the end of the day, even if that happens, with the win we got over Texas this year, it's if we went 10-2 and one of those 10 wins was over Texas, that's still a major improvement. But we got to be able to run the ball, man. It's starting to annoy me.
Yeah, and I'll say this: it's going to be ever imperative the closer you get to the SEC to run the ball. As Alabama's been struggling, and look at them. You know what I mean? Like, we have players all over the place. Can't run the ball. It really doesn't matter at the end of the day. You're not going to win a national championship. It seems like.
No.
We got a $10 donation from Stink Ass Cat. Our first donation of the night. He says, "Here we go again. Center fans complaining about the win. That was a very good team, and don't let the Kansas game fool you either." Yeah, I was
3-3
with you, Jonathan. I was telling you that it wouldn't surprise me if they struggled with Kansas too, because Kansas that loss to Texas fools a lot of people. They see the score, 40-14, but that game was 26-14 in the fourth quarter, and Texas just added a couple of touchdowns to make it look worse than what it really was.
Kansas didn't have their starting quarterback either, to be fair.
They do now.
And I'll tell you another thing too. You're looking at Bedlam now completely differently than you were 3 weeks ago. I mean, now all of a sudden the Bedlam game with Oklahoma State now, I was already convinced that was going to be a tight game, but now they're looking like they're back to being one of the better teams in the conference. Which
it's like a book.
Wow.
The season, man.
College football season is like a book, man. It's like you have chapters and layers, man. And teams will lose to South Alabama by 26, and then all of a sudden something will come together, man, because they're young.
Oh, but dude, it wasn't
in the middle of the season. Some teams jail at a certain time. Some teams jail early. Some teams jail in the middle of the season. Oklahoma State's starting to jail right now, and Okie Pokey State looks like they're trying to come around a little bit.
They didn't just lose to South Alabama, dude. They played like hot ass garbage for the first 3 weeks of the season. I mean, that's just a fact.
There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes too with Mike Gundy.
There had to be.
A lot of that crap about some of the players were mad because Mike Gundy and the staff wasn't paying enough attention to their parents and their agents. I'm like, that's not Mike Gundy's job. And I like to give Mike Gundy hell, but that's not his job to pay attention to your agents. That's your job.
Yeah.
Well, every time you count that guy out, he starts winning. Every time I think he's done, all of a sudden he has some kind of little run in him, and he's doing it again.
Les Miles, you think he was going run over, man. He'd be out there eating grass and shit, and then he'll find a way to win.
Yeah, for sure. He's clearly, I mean, honestly, I thought that they were one of the favorites to take over as the the dominant team in the conference now that OU and Texas were going. And then I felt like there was no way it was going to be them. And now I'm kind of looking at it again and going, well, I mean, maybe it will be.
This season, I can't remember the last time where we're mid-season. And outside of Michigan, I don't know any team what can happen. Every team struggled at least mightily at some point or another. Outside of Michigan, maybe he's the only one I think that hasn't.
Well, they seem to be getting stronger as the season goes on, which is, always a good sign of a great team.
I'm really interested to see how well Georgia does without Brock Bowers in the lineup.
Yeah, for sure. They were off this week, right? They were
they're going to bye week. Yeah, they're going to bye week. But Florida can beat Georgia, in my opinion, like JPC said. He said on the phone earlier, like, I believe that too. SEC, I believe it is. Okay, agree or disagree with this. Basically, anybody in the top 20, it seems like can almost beat anybody. I'm saying outside of Michigan, possibly.
Oh, I think you throw Michigan in there too. I mean, I think it really is. If you're at a certain level with the talent that you have on the field, but it also just seems like, man, I don't. It just seems like even the smaller schools and the group of 5 schools, just athletes today now, man, they're so much more advanced than they used to be. It just seems like the talent overall, top to bottom, is as good as it's ever been. So man, on any given Saturday, I mean, man, Central Florida had a couple of beasts on the defensive line. Those guys are legit. They're going to play in the NFL, and it's Central Florida. I feel like when I was a kid growing up watching football in the 80s and 90s, it just wasn't like that. The lower tier schools just really had no chance with the disparity between talent.
Yeah.
56 timer gives us a $10 super sticker donation. Appreciate that, 56 timer. And if you got a comment with it, just throw it in here and I'll try to catch it. Also, you'll see people in here with their badges as well. We got a bunch of people with their badges tonight. If you want to get your badge and get deputized, it's number $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week. It's just a bottle of water, right?
Sooner Ross has a good point.
Get your badge, get deputized, and be in the Outlaw Posse and get your random 4 horsemen shout out on the podcast, as well as possibly be the comment of the day. And maybe I'll even slap Jonathan for you.
First of all, you got to be this tall to slap me. You can't be 5'1".
He needs a good slapping on him.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah. You wish you were man enough to do that.
I was about to say something, Jesse, and I think you have an idea where I was about to go, and then I pulled the brakes, man. I said, no, I ain't gonna do it tonight.
I'm gonna put the brakes on.
Nice. I'm gonna be nice. At least right now, we're just getting started.
Jonathan likes to be mistreated.
We're just getting started.
Yeah, okay.
No, not Jonathan. It had nothing to do with Jonathan.
Oh, you talking about the marshmallow?
Yes.
Talking about HOF marshmallow?
Yeah.
Lori said that he wanted me to be on his show. He told her just about a couple of days ago he wanted me to come on his show. I'm like, I'm sure he does. He wants me to come on so he can cut me off and shit. He can come on my show if he says pretty please and tells me he's sorry.
Pretty please. No one's telling you pretty please.
Yeah, he will too.
I won't even tell you that.
Yeah, you will.
You wish. I'll drag you down here.
I'll maybe push you back in that chair again like I did when you was up there last time.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways. So with that being
but I will say this, going back to that OU game real quick, as bad as, they gave up a lot of explosive plays, that was definitely a problem. But
yeah,
man, there's no way you can come away from even a game like this, a close game where they easily could have lost and looked like they were going to for a little while. You still have to come away looking at this team and going, man, they're just so much better than they were just a year ago. Some of the things that they're doing. I mean, they had basically another goal line stand today until Knack got that goddamn taunting penalty, which basically gave them the touchdown. But that was about to be another great goal line stand 2 weeks in a row. The behind the line of scrimmage, man, they're really just playing at a much higher level, even though they're still very inconsistent. They still have some pretty bad plays, mixed in with a lot more good ones.
Yeah, I mean, I still think it's Oklahoma's conference to win, and I believe with Quinn Ewers looking like he possibly could be done for the season, possibly. Again, shoulder injury. I mean,
I missed
who else?
What happened?
So he got hit, and I think he landed on his. So he's breaking up on my end. I don't know if he is on your end. So basically what happened was he got hit, fell on his shoulder, and it looks – I don't know how severe it is, but it seems to be pretty bad. He left the game and never came back. I think he came back out sweats, but it looks like he could be done for the season. Malik Murphy came in and replaced him, was the guy that came in. But, I believe without Quinn, I believe Texas – I believe there's going to be nobody else to really challenge OU. You know what I mean? I believe this is a game that was just close, and I don't believe it's anything forthcoming of what you're going to see of OU. They just ran into a team that wanted to play hard today. And they played a very disciplined team, in my opinion.
Try to bring him back. Guess he's still having technical difficulties out there.
Yeah, he said to go on without him. He said he's going to work on his internet.
That's what you get for living in Texas.
Really? Because my internet's –
Well, I take it back. That's what you get for living in Houston.
He's in Houston?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to go see Killer Breeze. It's only 3 hours from here.
I know, right?
Oh, okay. We'll have to meet up then.
I'm going to go down there and get drunk.
Yeah. Oh, man. So we'll move on to the Alabama game for a little bit. Oh, actually, you got a donation, so we'll go with that first.
I'll let you read this one out.
So Stink Ass Cat says, I agree. Texas will lose some games without Ewers. I do believe they will at least lose one or two without Ewers. I mean, how good Malik's going to come in? Will you see Arch Manning this year? That's going to be a huge question mark if he's lost for the season. Because I don't know if you guys knew this, but during the Texas-Wyoming game, or no, Texas-Oklahoma game, the fans were chanting for Arch Manning. And I was like, whoa. Quinn Ewers has done you guys pretty good, and you're already chanting this dude's name.
He only beat Alabama for you, and you hadn't beat Alabama since 1981.
Yeah, 81.
Something like that in the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
I like to. Here's our resident Michigan fan. He probably saw your little ticker taper down there. He's probably got a little something he wants to ask you about Michigan's cheating allegations. He says the season's heating up for everyone. Great stretch run ahead. But what is it that is that stuff really heating up? Is that becoming a real issue?
It's not. It's going to be an internal issue, but it's not going to be like nothing. It's going to be nothing to take away wins. It's going to be nothing to take away from the fields. It's going to take away from staff because it's supposedly it's an internal staffer that was caught doing it. That's just from what I've seen. I think they already fired the staffer that got accused of it, but it looks like it's not going to be a big deal at all. Like I said, and it was worrisome for me because I'm like, it's the only team I've said I thought was complete top to bottom since the beginning of the year. So I was like, God, don't do this. It's like the one team I'm propping up because I did that for Penn State last year, right? And you saw it come back to bite me, and I'm like, do not make this 2 years in a row. So yeah. It doesn't like it's going to be that big a deal to me.
Michigan and Michigan State are playing right now, right?
Yeah. And Michigan's, I think let's see here, they're tearing them up. 35-0 Michigan. Like I said,
look,
they're in
the whole
quarter.
state of Michigan sort of in disarray. Michigan State's got a hell of a scandal going on, and now you got a Michigan Wolverine scandal going on.
Yeah, Bill Belichick 2.0.
if y'all want to get your comment read out and highlighted like Stink Ass Cat has done a couple of times, all you got to do is hit that money dollar sign at the bottom, write your comment out. Make sure you write that comment out, because if you don't, you'll send it and you won't get your money's worth. Write the comment out first and then hit send, and we'll read your comment out.
Now, I got a question for you. So, with that being said, and I didn't prop up Penn State this year as much as everybody wanted me to. I said, no, Penn State's number one. They're not going to win the Big Ten. They're not going to beat either Michigan or Ohio State. I don't believe that was going to happen. Now that we saw Ohio State beat them, I don't think Ohio State's that good either, by the way. I'm not propping them up.
I don't think anybody's any good this year.
Michigan's damn good. J.J. McCarthy, Corum, look, they got a squad, plain and simple. They're not the same team from last year in my eyes, right?
They're the same people, though, right? That got beat by TCU.
Talking about from last year?
Yeah.
That was last year. I'm talking about this year,
Well,
not last year.
I still remember it.
No, I still remember Alabama losing to Tennessee last year.
You watch your mouth, boy.
Yeah,
You watch your dirty mouth.
Exactly. So no. So I'm going all in on Michigan this year as far as who I think is the most complete team. I've done it since week one, and I'm going to continue to do it. So I'm just not privy to the allegations. Yeah, I don't think it had the way it was read out. The allegations were put in place, though. It almost had nothing to do at all with the top. Right, it had nothing to do with Jim Harbaugh, those guys. It seemed like it was way internal. Now, obviously, more information can come out, and that could change. But the way it looks, because it wasn't like it was reported, it was just found. And the fact that Jim Harbaugh was found with nothing on his hands helped out Michigan for sure. But a lot of people are saying, is this going to cause Jim Harbaugh to look to the NFL sooner rather than later? I don't know. You know how those rumors start. So
Neo Ghani says Malzahn calling a timeout when the game was decided was a bitch move.
Yeah, it was. I agree with that.
Neo, now you're getting a little taste of what we had to deal with when he was here at Auburn.
Yeah.
He was a bitch move literally every single day.
Yes.
In Alabama. He was a bitch, period.
That man, he's hard to deal with, man.
By the way,
on.
How is old Hugh Freeze and the escort service doing down there in Auburn? Are they losing that game to Ole Miss?
They were tied last time I saw it. Let's see here.
His former team?
21-14, Ole Miss leading.
And I hope Ole Miss wins that game,
man. North Carolina's losing to Virginia. North Carolina's undefeated, ranked 10. Virginia's 1-5.
Shit.
Just gonna throw it out there.
With college football, man. You can't go by just one big win.
No. Duke's beating Florida State. Florida State's 6-0, right? Number 4. Losing to Duke, who has one loss. That'd be a big win for Duke. Big win for Duke if they beat them.
Oh, yeah, that'd be huge for Duke. It would be good for the ACC in their playoff chances.
Yeah. And I agree. I agree with Jeff here. Says everything goes to the head coach, period. Yes, but I mean, not everything gets told to the head coach. When you have 130 staffers, you're not going to hear every single little thing. So I'm not going to blame a head coach because of something that was internally done by an assistant. It's not even technically being paid on the staff. Like that's really hard to judge. So, you know what I mean? Like, because if you really want to look at it, almost every team every year, I think they said on average 115 teams report, I think it's class 3 violations, which are like recruiting violations, recording violations, stuff like that every single year. I mean, there's just no way to monitor every single little thing. It's just as long as there's no majors, right? Class 1 or 2.
So what about next week, man? You know, Alabama's off.
Yeah.
You think
we need to be.
Think Oklahoma's going to right the ship a little bit? And
who do they play next week?
The game is at Kansas.
They play at Kansas. I believe Kansas. Look, I just don't think they have enough on defense, man. I have too much faith in Dylan Gabriel and staying consistent, not losing the game. For them to lose to a team like Kansas. If Oklahoma's going to lose, they're going to have to lose to a team that will literally handle them top to bottom, right? Kansas won't do that defensively. So it's going to have to be a complete team or a more complete team, right? Like Texas almost was, in my opinion, versus the Kansas. I don't see that happening. It's really hard for me too. So, but I'm glad Alabama is idle next week because I'm tired of the heart attacks.
Hell yeah. Maybe come up here
Tired
and
of it.
come to Tuscaloosa and hang out for a while everything's calm.
Yeah. So USC is still tied, I believe, with Utah right now, by the way. I think 14 apiece still.
Yeah, that's the problem. Everybody, if USC wins this game, everybody's going to be like, well, they sort of ride the ship. Utah don't really have a good offense this year. With Cam Rising out, it's been a struggle for Utah to score points, man. Even against USC's shitty defense, they can only put up 14 points. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I think USC might end up pulling this game out, but I still see them losing 2 or 3 more games this year.
I don't know, man. Like I believe Utah has a really good chance to win this game. It's just because once again USC gives up those super explosive plays, and it's hard for me to watch USC. The defense is terrible to watch. Eric Gentry looked like he lost weight. Like these players look like they went backwards from last year, in my opinion.
Who's that?
Talking about USC and their defense with Alex Grinch. They look like they went backwards almost.
But they got Bear Alexander, man.
Don't get me started on this.
He played for Georgia, man. He's going to save the damn day. He's coming out there like underdog with a damn cape on and shit.
Oh, my God.
It sort of reminds me of the Greatest American Hero. That's probably before your time as a 1980s show, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I was born in 85.
Like a bumbling, it's just like the Keystone Cops out there with the defense, man. It's like they can't get it right for some reason.
Keystone Cops. Oh, man.
I don't know exactly how long he's supposed to be out. Do you know how long he's supposed to be out?
They're not reporting, but it didn't look good. The way he was holding that shoulder was not looking good. It looked, in my opinion, it looked like a rotator cuff issue or something like that. Because when he came up, at first I wasn't sure, and then when he went to the locker room and came back, in the way he couldn't even move his arm, I was like, yeah, he's got something. It looks pretty serious.
Got some Colt McCoy shit going on.
Let's see. I'm going to look and see if they gave an update on it yet, but I'm sure it's going to be an MRI to be done tomorrow or something like that as far as the update goes.
He's like Mr. Glass, man. He gets injured every year.
Last year against Alabama, I was there for that one personally. So, let's see here.
You went to that game? I thought you went to the Texas A&M game.
No, last year was Texas. The year before that was Texas A&M when we lost at Texas A&M. Yep. Let's see here. Slings. Yeah, they say he's in a sling right now. Let's see here. I doubt they're going to give an actual update on it. I'm reading through it right now.
Well, college football can only blame themselves this year. If they don't get Alabama this year while they can, once, like you said, and I'm starting to come around a little bit. I was just a little pissed off when you was talking to me about it earlier, but Jalen Milroe does look like he's coming around a little bit. If they don't beat Alabama this year, I might not be able to beat them next year. I mean, this is a year that you probably need to get Alabama while you can.
Yeah. Because next year is going to be wild how good our team should be next year. I mean, pretty much everybody except Kool-Aid is coming back. I mean, if you're going to get Alabama, this year is the year for sure.
What's up with Kool-Aid McKinstry just letting 2 punts go right by him? He cost us big time.
Towards the end of the game, that one he let and it rolled down to like the 3-yard line, dude, I about threw my remote. I was like, why in the world?
He almost made Saban have a coordinator over there. I ain't seen Saban get that excited all season long.
He actually laughed. Dude, did you hear Jalen Milroe laughing after the game, talking to the reporter?
I didn't hear that.
Oh my God. It looks like Saban's actually having fun. I don't know if that means it's the end of the time for Saban or what, but
It means he's slacking.
yeah. Let's see here.
Not sure where that's going, but
Was there not old enough to remember just how stressful and hard every single week was in the 2000 seasons? You must be referring to the early 2000s with Alabama, maybe? With Shula and those guys, Franchione, DeBose, all of them.
yeah, the three Mikes. You had Mike DeBozo.
Yeah.
You had Mike DeBozo, Mike Price, and
Mike Shula.
Mike Price didn't make it past the spring game because it was rolling, baby. He went down that damn strip bar.
Panama City.
Well, I can't remember the name of the strip bar, but they put on their billboard out there.
Gold Nugget.
Home of the $10 million lap dance.
The Golden Nugget was the name of the strip.
Well, that's what they put on the billboard. Home of the $10 million lap dance because they cost him a $10 million contract.
100% they did. And that place burnt down the following year, by the way.
Did what?
And that strip club burned down the following year.
Really?
After the yeah, because when I was stationed down in Panama City,
I think it was called something else. I think it was called the Golden Nugget.
Yeah. No, I think it was that one. Almost positive it was. I could be wrong, but I thought it was. Yeah, I believe Malik Murphy's name was the replacement.
Malik Murphy?
Malik Murphy or Murray? I believe it's Malik Murphy.
Might be Malik Murphy. I think it is.
Let's see here. Let's see. Update here. Virginia still leading North Carolina with 2:07 left in the fourth. 31-27.
Who?
Virginia's leading North Carolina with 2:07 left in the fourth.
That's going to screw up their whole season. They lose to Virginia.
That's going to screw up the ACC if Duke beats Florida State.
Duke beats Florida State and Virginia beats North Carolina. The ACC's done.
Yeah.
And Virginia is an awful team. Awful.
Yeah, they're 1-5.
I think they lost to an FCS school or some shit.
Let's see here. Yeah, they lost to James Madison.
James Madison moved up, though.
Let's see here. And James Madison is – they get not give their schedule here. Oh, they're undefeated.
Yeah, James Madison is.
Yeah, they just beat Marshall.
Your former employer of the Air Force is undefeated.
That's why I put that in a ticker below, by the way.
Yep. You know, if we had a 12-team playoff this year, they'd probably get in the playoffs. I think they're too far down right now, and their schedule is not very daunting, so they probably won't give them a shot at the 4-team playoff. Although I would like to see a service academy get in there. I think that'd be a pretty cool story.
Yeah.
Speaking of service academies, got a rare game tonight with the Army and LSU. Army coming into SEC country.
Yeah, it's not going good, though.
Is it not going good?
No, LSU's up in the third 45-0.
Wow.
Yeah. Michigan's up 42-0 against Michigan State.
Bailey just backed you up. JMU is undefeated.
Yep.
Chris Nipper says in the Oklahoma game that Peyton Bowen's sack was huge. They got a few yards, went down the fourth. Who knows if OU would have won. Speaking of huge sacks, that one on Milton was the play of the game.
Talking about Broswell?
Was it Broswell that hit him?
Broswell hit him. Yeah, and then what's his name picked it up and took it in.
That was the play of the game.
There's no doubt about it.
That changed the whole game. That one play cost them the game.
Yep.
Because it was just way too late to come back from 14 down. Even though we kept giving the damn ball back to them, couldn't make no first downs and just soft the shit away.
Let's see here. Yeah, Spooner Ross here. LSU painted their end zones in camouflage. It does look cool. I saw that a couple of days ago. actually pretty cool. What Sooner Ross put on here, LSU painted their end zones in camouflage. It looks really cool.
Yeah, but we don't look cool to Army because they're running the score up on them.
I mean, at least they did that for him. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Back off on them a little bit. They don't just beat this holy shit out of them.
It's Brian Kelly.
Hey, it is Brian Kelly. I forgot. You're right. I keep forgetting that jerk's down there.
Yep.
Try to forget that son bitch. I can't
Let's see here. I know. Let's see here. Let's see.
Arch Manning's sort of behind the 8 ball. You got to feel for Arch Manning. She says that just shows what they think of him because he's not starting in place of Ewers. That guy Malik's had a jump on him. It don't matter who you are. It don't matter what your last name is. If someone's got a jump on you, knows the system better. If you're going to start the quarterback that's your best option to win, it's probably going to be Malik. Arch Manning, I feel sorry for him because he's got, he has a lot to live up to.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can tell you this is not true. Nick Saban and their staff is very high on 2 people. Super high on Dylan Lonergan and really high on Julian Sayin, who's the #1 quarterback coming out of high school this year.
Yeah, we got him out of California. The state that Lincoln Riley said he was going to build this wall around.
Yeah.
But yet we keep going in there and getting shit.
Yeah.
Not only that, but Oregon keeps going in there and getting their stuff. And
yeah.
And I thought they finally had something over Oregon, and boom, Oregon gets in the Big Ten.
That's so funny, man. Oh, let's see here. Come on, I need some of these games to end.
Speaking of the SkittleShidders, how are the SkittleShidders doing?
They're still tied right now. Looks like Utah's possibly about to score. Let me bring up.
Yeah, I got the screenshot right here of it. A screen of it right here. I'm looking at it. I'm not going to put it on there because they'll demonetize me because they're a bunch of assholes.
That they are. I'll give you that. Yeah.
Yeah, 1150 is what I got right here. 14-14.
Yep. Yeah, they're about to score at the USC 18.
Yeah, mine's running behind a little bit.
Looks like Virginia's going to pull out the win. They get the ball with 26 seconds left, so they're going to take down Drake May and North Carolina.
I sort of hate that for North Carolina, Mac Brown. We're not going to win. I'd like to see old Mac Brown get a shot.
Yeah, he had a good team this year. Drake May's the real deal.
But like I said earlier, man, if people just letting us lurk around, Alabama's just lurking around.
I know.
And it's just like, there they are. They're 7-1. We thought they were 4-3, but they're not.
Man, I keep telling people the same thing. When you let teams like this stick around too long and they find their way, they find their rhythm, you can become a dangerous team really quick.
Well, especially with the talent level Alabama's got. Sometimes the only thing that's wrong with Alabama is they haven't gelled as a team.
Yeah.
And when they gel, and if you hadn't stuck them with 2 losses by then you're in trouble. Because if they back into the playoffs, we know Alabama's good at backing into the playoffs and winning the whole thing. They've done that before.
Yeah.
I think a couple of times we come in as a 3 or a 4 seed and won the damn thing.
Let's see here, BYU up. Yep, you're right in my mind.
BYU, I don't know what happened to them last week. They got beat 44-11 or some shit by TCU.
Yeah, they got smoked.
And then Arizona beat Washington State 44-6. And I thought Washington State was
Oh.
We'll have to worry about Colorado losing this week.
No.
Con time lives another week without me grilling his ass. You can wait till he loses next week. Who do they play next week? Colorado.
Let's look it up. Oh, let's see here.
Glasses on while you do that. So
Got it right here. They play UCLA. And they got at UCLA, who's ranked 25th. Then they got Oregon State, who's ranked 12th. Then they got Arizona, at Washington State, and then at Utah. Colorado could be facing a situation where they only win one more game this season.
That's why he's got these sunglasses on, man. He don't want to see that shit.
So they could be staring down 4 wins and not going to a bowl game. And I remember after they won their first 3, people were like, can they win the Pac-12?
What happened to Teresa? I ain't seen her up in here in a little bit. She was up in there.
Yeah, she was.
Teresa Moser done left us. They didn't tell us she was leaving. Damn, Teresa.
Dukies beat FSU and take the whole damn conference with you. Oh, man.
Yep. Duke would definitely shit in the playoff Cheerios of the ACC.
Yes, it would. Big time.
Of course, I don't know. Florida State might be able to recover from one loss. I don't know. It's just
it'd be hard.
It's just the stigma of losing to Duke. Duke's actually a good team. It's just you can't get over the word Duke in football. Getting beat by Duke.
Well, the problem for Florida State would be if you recover, there's no more top 25 teams you're playing. So where's your resume gonna hold? Because let's say they lose a Duke. We'll just say they lose a Duke. That means they beat 0 top 25 teams to get in the playoffs.
Is that right?
Yes. Right now, every team they played has not been ranked. So,
LSU? What about LSU?
My bad. LSU is the only one. Discounted LSU. So, LSU, I don't know how I skipped over them. Southern Miss, Boston College, Clemson. I can't believe Clemson's not ranked. I'm just not used to seeing that. Virginia Tech and Syracuse. Syracuse looked like they were going to be something, right? Turned out to be nothing. Virginia Tech, I don't know. I haven't paid much attention to them. Clemson is just a hot mess at this point. Boston College, same thing. Southern Miss. But, yeah, LSU. They really have LSU ranked that high? I did not. Okay, they were 5th at the time.
Yeah, they were. Sooner with the SkittleShidders update. Touchdown, Utah. Down go the SkittleShidders, hopefully. I'm just worried that Utah's not going to be able to outscore them, man.
Well, they have a defense, though.
Well, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if you can keep USC to under 28 points, you usually can beat them because they're going to give up 28 points for damn sure.
Oh, yeah. Alex Grinch.
Everybody popping in with the SkittleShidders update.
I think everybody wants to see USC lose.
Why do y'all not like USC so much?
Oh, really? Yeah.
Y'all act like a bunch of Sooners in here. There's a bunch of Sooner mutts in here.
Nick Saban says he's having fun coaching up and down Alabama team this year.
I bet he is having fun. But let me tell you something, Nick. I'm not having fun at all. I want you to stop that shit right now.
Yeah, I'm tired of it, bro.
Me and you had this conversation. I'm not wanting him to retire because he lost a few games. I'm wanting him to retire for his own legacy so he can go out on top instead of bringing himself down in Alabama process. You see it all the time with Bobby Bowden and Joe Paterno. They just hold on too long, man.
Yeah.
I mean, why not go out on top?
I mean, if they let's just say Alabama wins it this year.
He's not going to retire.
No, he's not going to retire. He's going to get another extension for 10 more years.
Exactly. Man, he'd be like a scarecrow out there in the damn cornfield, man.
What would you rather have? Us not win a national championship for 5 more years and him retire, or us win one this year but sign him to a 10-year extension?
I don't know about that, man.
You know what you want. You know you want another national championship. Don't lie.
You're
not lying to me.
He wants to know because he wants to pass Bear Bryant in Alabama. See, it's sort of awkward and backwards the way it is, man. He's got 7 national championships. He's got more overall national championships than Bear Bryant.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have more championships
At Alabama.
Because his one national championship at LSU takes away from that.
Yeah. He's tied though, right? So I mean, he's tied.
He's tied with him right now, but he wants that. And I bet he wants that. I bet he wants to pass Bear Bryant in total wins too. And he's getting pretty close to 300 career wins. 300 career wins is a very elite group of coaches. There's not many coaches past 300 wins. I don't know how close he is. I think he's like 290 something.
Let me see here. I'll look. Let's see here. 274.
274?
275 as of today.
No, more than that.
Hang on. Is this out of date? Hang on. Let me look. Let's see here. Let me see how far this went back.
Mike Wilkerson with a $2 donation says he hasn't liked USC since Sam Bam Cunningham. That was a little bit before my time.
That's why I say you going back.
I read it in history books and whatnot. I guess that guy was a running back, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I think they come down here and beat Alabama, and that's when a lot of the USC fans take credit for forcing Bear Bryant to integrate.
280, looks like see here. Wikipedia showing 287. See
Yeah,
here.
that's one thing. That's a little bit behind, I think. It's more close to like 287, 288. It's close to 290.
Damn, sorry.
Chris Nippert says this just in: Lincoln Riley is giving Alex Grinch a big pay raise and an extension.
He needs to.
He does.
Keep him there.
He's gonna get his ass fired. They're gonna both get fired, man. They'll catch your ass in that tarmac like they did Lane Kiffin. And fire you on the spot.
Ole Miss is up 28-14 on Auburn.
Sweet. Nothing like a barn monkey loss on a Saturday night.
Oh, man.
Y'all want to get your comment highlighted like Mike Wilkerson just did? You can just do a little small donation or however many characters you need to make your comment. Hit that $sign at the bottom. Send your comment and we'll read it out for you.
Looks like Duke's about to score.
See, that's what I'm telling you. All these Oklahoma and Alabama fans that are pissed off today. Well, Alabama fans aren't pissed off because that was Tennessee.
Yeah.
But the South Florida game for Alabama. But all the Oklahoma fans is mad today about barely squeaking by. Just imagine how bad it would be if you lost.
Yeah.
That, and you would have been Central Florida's first ever Big 12 win. They have still yet to win a game in the Big 12. And y'all don't want to be one carrying that moniker around.
No.
But just like Texas, they got by there, man. It's just like it's sort of comparable to the NCAA basketball tournament in the first round. You get these small teams in there that you never heard of, and then they almost beat you, or they do beat you. It's just, man, you got to survive from week to week. That's the good thing about college football still. It's probably going to change in the future, but every week matters in college football right now. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Would you agree that I can outdrink you at Big Al's?
No, that you can't do. You can keep dreaming about. I don't know how many times you got to bring that up.
We're gonna video that shit next time. We're gonna see.
Yeah, we will. And we'll see.
Me and Jonathan were drinking pictures. I had one called a Screaming Blue MFer, and he had, I don't know what his was called.
I have Long Islands. I love Long Islands. Yeah, we had a couple of pictures.
Teresa says she's waiting for married Caleb Williams to enter the portal and beg OU to take him back. Would y'all take him back? I know you're just trolling.
No.
But what if he did want to leave? You know, because he's still got what has he got? Another year or two?
He's got at least another year.
He's got another year, so he could come back to Oklahoma if you want him, Teresa. Maybe you can give him a manicure or something.
I don't think anybody in Oklahoma would want him back. Yingling and Jack Daniels. Mike Wilkerson's up my alley. Now you're talking my stuff, bro. I love Yingling.
Well, I like that kind of stuff too, but I get gout from that shit. So
Yeah.
I have to drink certain things because I'm also diabetic. My doctor told me if I was going to drink, he suggested I not drink at all. But he said, but if you're going to drink silver tequila, the plant in the silver tequila has actually got benefits for diabetics. So anybody who's diabetic out there that wants to drink and get drunk with me, you have to drink tequila. He's about to say something. Go ahead.
No, it's at an agave plant.
Okay. What? You the one that brought it up? What are you saying heck no for it? Come on now. You know you want Caleb Williams back. Him and his daddy. They said they want a partial ownership.
I saw that.
Partial ownership in a team.
That's wild.
I hope that's somebody trolling and making some shit up, man. But is that shit for real?
Yeah.
He ain't lost his damn noodle, man.
Yeah.
Any team out there, I'd be like, nope. Wrong answer.
USC just fumbled the ball and gave the ball back to Utah to 50.
Really?
Yep.
Someone knows you from back in the day, I reckon. There's a shout out for you on the $4.99.
What's going on, man? Oh, Waylon.
Waylon C. The Godfather of the SEC. Is that a actual YouTube channel? Is that a podcast? That'd be a great name for a podcast.
Godfather of the SEC? That would be.
Jonathan's Godfather of San Antonio.
Godfather. Here we go.
Y'all remember the Godfather from WWE when pimping wasn't easy? Well, Jonathan's made it easy.
You're so stupid.
I don't know where LeVar is. I wish there was some way you could get in touch with him like you can on Facebook, but you can't do that on here. He's a USC fan that used to come in here and give us hell, but for some reason he's magically disappeared. Poof. It's funny how that works, man. It's like a magic trick. You know, if you want a jackass to disappear, just have their team start losing.
Yeah.
It's not like me and you both choked up tonight. I can't stop coughing.
Yeah, same thing.
I thought I was shit.
The weather's got me messed up. All right, we're going to get off here, man. I got to go to work tomorrow.
You actually work?
Get out of here with that. You know better than that.
Yeah, you work too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, Godfather and me, we're not going to put up with that shit, man. You got to pay more attention to us, man.
Oh, shut up.
I got attention deficit disorder on that shit.
I put in, 71 hours last week. Working quite a bit, to say the least. Got to make that money, man.
You got to give me a job out there.
Come on now. Again, make round 2. Just don't bring a dog with you.
You killed my last dog.
No, I didn't kill your dog. Oh, man. But yeah. Yeah, I got to be at work by 5, so I wake up about 3:30.
Whose feelings did I hurt, Teresa? I hurt a lot of people's feelings.
Yeah, you do.
People just need to get a thick skin for being little crybabies about shit. Like the SkittleShidders.
All right. Well, everybody have a good night. Are you staying on here?
Yeah, I might stay on here a little while and hang out with these people.
All right.
Maybe
Go have fun.
Maybe we can get Kill Breeze back in here. Maybe one of them will pop up in here with me. I don't know.
Make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, obviously.
All right, brother. It's good having you on.
All right. See you guys next stream.
All right, later. And that was Jonathan Lewis, formerly of College Football with Jonathan Lewis. I'm going to talk him into getting his podcast back up again. He don't know it yet, but I'm going to. There's a guy from USC in here, Teresa. I didn't know there was a guy from USC in here. That's right, the hoe train, Senator Ross. That's Jonathan Lewis. He's got the hoe train going on down there. I don't know how much I should delve into it, but he's a single man now, so yeah, I think he's making up for lost time or some shit. Outlaw needs to get LeVar on his show. Really? Really now? I need to get LeVar on this show? You think? There he is, the man, the myth, the legend, the one they call Killer Breeze, the one that coined the phrase HOF marshmallow. Lloyd Brogdon gonna get
my internet keeps getting.
Lloyd Brogdon get mad at you, man. You talk about a man like that.
He wants no piece of me.
And she won't admit to it now. She's in there lying on me. She's like says that she didn't say that, but she did. I got a screen. I can screenshot it, man. I can screenshot it, Laura. She said he wanted me on his show, and then later on she's like, oh, I was just kidding.
Come on, Lori.
He been grilling on him. Killer Bree's been over there grilling the hell out of him.
So, man, it looks like I feel like Utah's probably going to win this game. This is going to be loss number 2.
I was worried. I ain't going to lie. Like I told Jonathan, I was worried that Utah wouldn't be able to score enough points because their offense sucks. But I guess we're finding out who sucks more, Utah's offense or USC's defense.
Yeah, it's USC's defense, which is funny because all week long they've been talking about how the defense actually has been playing better now, because they played so good against Notre Dame, which is funny.
College football, Jonathan Lewis with a SkittleShidders update. Touchdown, Utah.
Yep, there it is.
Damn,
man.
Yeah, man. I've never had a team lose make me so happy, man. I don't know why it makes me so mad. I get this big smile on my face.
Man, listening to all of the USC podcasts this week was so great. It was so great. It was comedy gold. These guys are losing their minds, man. And they're basically having to realize, or they're all coming to the realization that what we told them was true. And it's driving them crazy.
Boy, trying to flirt with you again. She's here trying to molest you. I ain't gonna mention his name no more, but that other guy that you listen to, he's gonna get jealous. Lori, better stop that. He don't like Killer Breeze, by the way.
Yeah, he really doesn't. It had nothing to do with him. He jumped up in the middle of my joke that I had going on, got all offended, got his feelings hurt, and started acting like a tough guy, which is ridiculous.
I was asking Jonathan earlier, what do you think about that Kansas game? Y'all think y'all going to be able to handle that going into Lawrence?
Man, I don't know, man. It just depends on I feel like the defense will continually get better all year. And so I'm not so much worried about the defense doing well. I'm just worried about the offense. And it's not that I don't think they can clearly score a lot of points, but man, they just got to establish the line of scrimmage, and they have to be able to get the running game going.
Well, everybody's been bragging and propping up the defense for Oklahoma, but they give up 29 points today.
Well, but I think the reason why is because they still did a lot of really good things. They just happen to have some bad busted plays and some bad just some poor execution on a couple of plays. But overall, man, they had a ton of plays behind the line. I mean, a ton of them today. So you can't deny that this is defense on a level we haven't seen in a long, long time, even with the inconsistency. We'll take it because you can see that it's getting better. We just need to have a couple more years of recruiting to where we have mainly, these 4- and 5-star guys that he's been recruiting at such a high level. We need to have that be the majority of the players on the field with 1 or 2 transfers. And right now it's the other way around. We have mainly transfers with 1 or 2, highly rated recruits. So I feel like it's going to be a year or 2 before we're really where we want to be. Anything's possible in any given year and any given weekend. Anything's possible. But I think, another couple of years and we'll be in a good spot.
Jonathan thinks it's realistic that USC loses 4 of the last 5 games. You think that might be the case?
I honestly, and now with these NFL rumors that's going on with Lincoln, it's very possible, man, that, it's eerily similar to his last year in Norman,
I thought that was a joke. I thought that was a joke about Caleb Williams wanting partial ownership in the team that drafts him, but Jonathan was saying that was true.
That's true.
That's horseshit. He really think someone. I hope no one's stupid enough to do that shit. That just seems like
I know that Dan Patrick was bringing up some points about why that's just not possible. You can't give him. It messes with the salary cap because they wouldn't have to necessarily pay him any salary. They could compensate him with the equity in the team, and that wouldn't be fair with the salary cap. There's reasons why that just can't happen. He was a dumbass. Go figure for asking that.
Exactly. Teresa Moser seems to think that someone is sexually harassing you. Someone sexually harassing you, Killer?
No, I have not been sexually harassed.
Maybe she wants to sexually harass you. I don't know. Y'all need to do that after the show. Y'all going to get me demonetized now.
Yeah, I don't know that we can even say those words out loud anymore.
I know, right?
What we got going on in the chat room here? What's going on, Mike?
Mike Wilson wondering if Bedenbaugh is losing his zip. What do you think about that?
I don't know, man. Because the one thing I don't understand is I really don't understand why, and maybe it really is just about the winning on the field, but I don't understand why we don't get more 5-star offensive linemen with as good as Bedenbaugh's track record is of getting guys, drafted highly and playing in the NFL. Man, he's got such a good record of it, that I don't understand why we don't have better. Seems like not that the recruiting classes we've had on the offensive line have been bad the last couple of years, but I would have expected that they would have been better. Maybe they will start to be now. If we can finish this recruiting cycle, getting Grant Bricks and Pierre Louis, that would be a couple of good 4-star offensive linemen. Maybe it'll start swinging. The trajectory will start going further upward again.
Now that would be epic, Thunder OU, if USC finished 6 and 7 after all the 6 and 7 remarks that they made last year. Oklahoma, that would be priceless if they went 6 and 7.
That would be amazing, man. That would be amazing.
If they play their cards right, them and Tulane might get a rematch. They might be able to get revenge for that game. I don't know how good Tulane is this year, but
they seem to be all right. I was looking; they won today. Let me take a look and see.
Yeah, I guess you didn't take advantage of the transfer portal sometimes, Kevin Thurman. But me and Killer Breeze, we're not real big fans of the transfer portal shit.
No.
It's building a big old house of cards, in my opinion.
No, I feel like I was just saying, I feel like when you're looking at your starters on the field, the overwhelming majority of those players should be coming from your high school talent that you've brought in as freshmen and you've built up in your system, in your culture. That's what you need to have on the field with one or two transfers that you picked up to fill some gaps. But right now, that's not what we are. We're really, ironically, the exact opposite. We have mainly transfers out there with a couple of our recruited talent. And it's just going to take a little more time before that's even possible, much less whether it's happening or not.
Mike Wilkerson says that's what I'm talking about, Kill Breeze. We need better O-line recruits.
Yes.
Are y'all lacking in that area? Is that something that y'all lacking in your recruiting?
We just don't have. It's not been terrible. We've had some 4-star and recruits, but we haven't really had any 5-star O-lineman recruits, and that's just surprising with Bedenbaugh's reputation. You would expect that they would have one here or there, but they don't, and they won't this year again.
Jack says it seems like Oklahoma always has a bad game after a bye week. It's like it gets them out of their rhythm.
I think also, like we were talking about earlier today, man, you can't underestimate a big win like that. These young guys, it's like Nick Saban called it, man, it's rat poison. They start listening to how good they are for a couple of weeks. And I tell you what, the defense started off on like a rocket. I mean, the first 4 possessions, they were 3 and out. I mean, they couldn't get a first down.
Leon Livers seems to think that Bedenbaugh is elite, and I wouldn't worry about the offensive line. I haven't heard any bad things about Bedenbaugh.
No, there's nothing bad going on. It's just I'm just surprised that we haven't had bigger, higher rated recruits. His track record is still good, but I mean, take a year like this. Part of the problem is, again, we still have transfer talent, on the field and on the O line. So we just need a couple more years, but they're ahead of schedule.
I'm back to my team for just a second. Was that not one of the most emotionally swinging type games you've ever seen? I mean, we were down 20-7 at halftime. Everybody was basically giving up on us, and I hadn't even given up, to be honest with you. I thought we was about, and because Tennessee probably should have been up like 28 or 31-7.
Yes,
they sort of shot themselves in the foot and didn't put us out. If you don't put Alabama out, man, it's always a mistake. And now Alabama's just lurking around at 7-1.
Yep.
Teams in front of us are starting to lose. Is it possible that Alabama gets back into the playoffs?
Of course. First of all, Alabama's been so good over the last 15 years that they get the benefit of the doubt. They're always going to get that until proven that they shouldn't. And this is a good example of why they should. Because absolutely they're right back into the – I guarantee you there's no team out there that's looking at Alabama on their schedule and going, oh, yeah, we got that one wrapped. No one. So it could easily end up being Bama and Georgia in the SEC championship. And if it is Bama and Georgia in the SEC championship, at a certain point you got to like Nick Saban's chances of winning. Law of averages says he's going to get one again.
I've noticed that a lot of their offense runs through Brock Bowers, and I'm just real curious to see how they're going to respond without Brock Bowers. I think Florida could beat them. I really do. I think Florida could upset them. I think Missouri could beat them. Missouri has only lost one game. They beat they beat South Carolina pretty good today. I think Missouri's 7-1 now. Missouri, actually, people don't realize this. Missouri went to back-to-back SEC title games when they first joined the conference.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
I mean, people dismiss Missouri too easily. And I think you might be able to see. Georgia may not be there. Everybody was talking about Alabama not being there. Georgia may not be there either.
USC just scored.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt.
USC just scored a touchdown.
Well, what I was saying was I just wouldn't be surprised if Georgia didn't make it because the way their offense has been.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Bowers is the focal point of the offense, and he was good. He was really good, but now he's out, and how do they respond? I don't think it's a. I think I could easily see it going the way you just described it, easily.
If Alabama gets past LSU, I could see it being Alabama and Missouri in the SEC title game. I know a lot of people don't think it's a stretch, but Missouri's 7-1, man.
Well, yeah, God, you just think that, yeah. I mean, could it actually be Missouri that goes instead of Georgia? Jesus.
That's what I'm thinking.
I guess. I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, look, at some point, Georgia's gonna lose. It's gonna happen. That's my point. Is that it's just law.
I hope they do. They're gonna end up breaking y'all streak, man. You want your 47 game win streak be busted up, do you?
That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. I don't think. But regardless. They're going to lose at some point. They're not going to win forever. Everybody loses. So, yeah, it could be Missouri. I mean, Tennessee doesn't, Tennessee is so inconsistent. I can't imagine Tennessee really being any kind of a threat.
No, Tennessee's already got 2 losses in the conference. They lost to Florida and Alabama. And Tennessee's done. She's like Lori Brogdon says.
How many losses does Florida have? Does Florida have 1?
They lost to Kentucky. So
how many losses does Florida have?
I think they only got 1 in the conference.
It's just the 1, right?
In the conference, yeah. They lost to Utah. They lost to Utah.
So, yeah, maybe it's Florida.
Might be Florida. Lori was saying it's Florida. Playoff. I wasn't really saying Missouri was going to make the playoff. I was saying Missouri might make the SEC title game, Lori. That's what I was saying. I wasn't saying it was going to make the playoffs. What you want me to stop? I ain't doing nothing. What am I doing? You don't want me to bring that screenshot up, do you?
Oh, did they? Wait, it looks like they took that touchdown off the board.
Really?
Back to 28-14, yeah. That's what it looks like.
What if
yeah.
I wonder if there's a way that we could have like a preview.
Yeah, what's Lori talking about? You better stop. What you doing, man?
I ain't do nothing. I don't know what she's talking about.
What'd you say that again?
I'm not sure.
Oh, Outlaw. I see what she's talking. She's saying you better stop talking about Georgia breaking on the streak.
Ain't nobody gonna break that streak. Because
that's what she means when she says, "Outlaw, you better stop."
There's too much.
One thing is for sure. Lori doesn't take any nonsense from anybody. That's a fact.
Well, Georgia won't break your streak because it's just not, it's too much parity in college football probably for that streak to ever be broken. Back in that day,
I think so.
It was not taken away from the streak, but things were a little easier back then, so to speak. Well, brother, I guess I'm about to get off here. I'm fixing to have to go run some errands and do a few things, but it was good having you on here with me again. I wish you could have been on here.
All right, man.
Be on here longer, but I guess the technical.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it.
The internet gremlins got you, I guess.
Yeah, man. I apologize about that. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But we'll do it again sometime, man.
All right, brother. We'll check you later.
Take it easy, brother.
Yes, sir. That was Killer Breeze once again. He's one of our Oklahoma go-to kind of guys. I might have to cut it off early tonight because I got a few things I got to take care of here locally. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, just hit the subscribe button along with the bell. If you hit the subscribe and the bell, you'll get notified as to when we're up and on the air. You can also get your badge like some of these other guys and gals have in here. You can get your badge. It's not $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week. It's a little join button next to the subscribe button. Hit that join button. You'll get your badge. You'll be deputized. You'll get your random Four Horsemen shout out on the podcast as well as possibly be the comment of the day. And with that, I'm out of here. KMCA to all your other teams, even your 47-game win streak, Lori. I'm just playing. I love y'all. I love the Sooners. And I love Alabama. And I love college football in general. I'm out of here. Class is now dismissed.